Although ChurchTrac is not a payroll platform, you still need to be able to enter your final payroll numbers into the accounting screen to properly track your church's finances. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your payroll categories, record payroll transactions, and track them. The very first thing you're going to want to do is go into ChurchTrac and go to your accounting screen. Here, you're going to click on your categories and you're going to go in and create the categories you need for payroll. In this case, I've already set up an example for you so that you can see what you're going to need, okay? You want a parent category called payroll taxes. Then you want to make sure you have your federal withholding, your Social Security, and your Medicare withholdings. You're also going to want to include the state withholdings, if you have state withholdings, and your local withholdings. So I can't tell you if you have these needs. I can only show you where to put them. You have to be responsible for making this happen. You also want to create your Social Security and Medicare employer side of things, because when you set your 941, which we are going to do, you're going to be using those options. Okay, so to add a category, if you're doing payroll, you should know how to do this, but we're going to go ahead and do it here. We're going to create one called test. We're going to say okay. And here in your properties of your test category, you're going to want to make sure that it's an expense, that it is the default fund of general fund. I say this because in ChurchTrac, we don't record payroll or transact payroll using a separate fund. It comes out of the general fund because that's the money that's used to pay the church's money or bills, okay? You can make a subcategory if you already have your payroll taxes parent in place, or if this is your parent, then you will continue the process of making these other categories for payroll, okay, until you have everything set up like I do. This does not mean you have to use these numbers. These numbers are there for the sake of easy entry because some people just like to use numbers for recording. I don't have a preference one way or the other, okay? Once you have all of your payroll categories in place, the next thing you're going to want to do is go up to your payees and set your payees up for everyone that you're going to be paying, okay? In this case, I have created one called Lori Support. That's me, okay? So to pay me, I have my payee description. I have the fact that this is our address. This is where I'm getting my check sent to. I have a non-clergy payroll category. Now you say, Lori, I don't need a category for my secretary, for my nursery workers, for my pastor, for my associate pastor, for my youth minister, for my music minister. No, the federal government doesn't care who you're paying. They only care that you're paying them. So non-clergy payroll or clergy payroll. Set up the amount. This is dependent on who you're paying. Include your first add item right here as federal withholdings. This is the taxes that the person you're paying is having withheld from their paycheck. Now, you say, Lori, how do I calculate that? I can't show you that. That has to be done by the payroll company you're using, or if you guys are calculating payroll using another method. But the amount that is going to be withheld needs to be entered in this line as a negative number. Remember, we're not adding to their pay, we're subtracting from their pay as a withholding. You say, why do you emphasize that? I have seen paychecks go up. I wish my boss paid me my paycheck plus all my taxes and everything, and I got to go home with the gross amount of that. It would be amazing. That's not the way that works. So always negative numbers. Be sure your next category is your Social Security withholdings. This is the withholding that the payee is paying in to the government. Add your Medicare. Always using this add line, add the next tax. If you guys have a state tax or a local tax or a county tax, a municipal tax, whatever, make sure you add the line items for that. We're in Florida. We don't have those, so mine are $0, okay? When you are finished with these calculations, your net position will be what the person's going to be taking home in their paycheck. That's how that should work. Again, it should match what the payroll company provides to you or what you guys are calculating when you are figuring payroll, however you do it. Once you have your payee in place, then you're going to be able to go up to the account screen into your checking account, okay? Create a new transaction. It's time to run payroll. I'm very excited I get to use my payees. Yes, I nerd out when it comes to getting things like this in place. Use your next check number, okay? Whatever that is. I'm just going to say 777, okay? My payee is in this list. Here I am. Woo! Drop me right in. All my calculations are there. Now, keep in mind, this is for a salaried employee. Payroll for hourly is going to be a little different. You're going to have to calculate that. But everything, this entire setup is going to be the same. It drops in. Now you're ready to save it and move to the next item. Run your whole payroll. When you get done, you can go back and print all of your checks down here at the bottom in your print check section, okay? One more thing that you are going to have to know when you are recording payroll and paying the IRS, and that is your 941. Again, let's go to Payees, look at what I have done, and that is set up my payee for the IRS. This is never going to change. You have to pay them every single time that you're required to pay them, whether it's monthly, weekly, quarterly, or annually. It doesn't matter. You're still going to be paying. So go ahead and set the payee up. Leave the amounts as $0 because when you use that payee, you can then drop it into your new transaction and fill in those amounts based on what your 941 is going to tell you. Okay? So again, federal taxes, add a line item for the next one. Social Security employer share. This is the part that the church pays on behalf of the person. Okay, then you're going to have your, this should say Medicare. Then your Medicare employer share. These are your federal tax numbers. Again, you are responsible for filling out your 941 and making sure that the total amount when you do your transaction matches the document that you get from the government. By creating this payee, you just simply do the same thing. Go into your checking account, add the new transaction, okay? Click your 941, boom, everything drops in for you. How amazing is that? All you have to do is fill in the numbers based on the 941, save your transaction, and you are golden, okay? That doesn't mean you don't have to do something with this. If you're recording from your electronic payment that you do at irs.gov, then that's fine, you record it. If you're printing, you need to get that in the mail, okay? That's all there is to recording payroll in ChurchTrac. So to learn more about accounting and other features, click the Help button to view our online user guide. It's filled with hundreds of articles and step-by-steps and videos. We also post our entire library of videos and live streams on our YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out and subscribe.